What's up, Vetters? Patrick here with Vetted. I have an absolutely crazy video for y'all today. It seems that Dr. Steven Greer may be a double agent working for Mossad, Israel's secret service. At least that's according to a guest on a recent episode of the Danny Jones podcast. And please hit that like button, Vetters. That really helps out the videos. And of course, if you're not already subscribed, hit that subscribe button, y'all. We're trying to get to 100,000 subscribers by the end of the year. I think we can do it. All right, so let's jump in with the first part of this clip, and I'll see you on the other side.
Some of the stuff Greer says is so crazy, and he's like a guy who he's really easy to dismiss.
Let's see, I've got that printout papers there for you.
Which ones?
It should be below the rain sown stuff.
These.
Yeah, if you want to pull that up.
But like, I mean, he's been on this stuff for so long.
He has, and he's never produced anything of actual worth. There you go. There's a good one. I thought you might appreciate that. May not be something you want to put.
Emily and Steven Greer, Haifa, Israel. Emily Kramer and Steven Greer were married Saturday at Baha'i World Center. The bride is the daughter of Miss Douglas Kramer of Palm Beach, Florida, and the late Dr. Cromler. She graduated from the University of Pennsylvania and received a master's degree in occupational therapy from Boston University. She was employed by the Peace Corps in Barbados. The bridegroom is the son of Mr. and Mrs. James Greer of 1201 Princeton Avenue. He attended the Appalachian State University and is employed in the Information Processing Department at Baha'i World Center. After a trip through Israel, the couple will live in Haifa and work at the Baha'i World Center.
Yep. That's the original marriage notice. Baha'i was regarded as an intelligence gathering operation for Mossad.
And Steven Greer worked for these people.
And he worked for them. He started with those people. Then he got funded.
This is before he was an emergency room doctor?
You know, I've done a lot of research on Steven Greer. I don't want to make any claims that get me in any kind of trouble about Steven Greer, but it doesn't look to me like he had enough time to even do medical school and a residency. And certainly the old newspaper articles don't refer to him as Dr. Greer. It's like he goes right into UFO stuff. So if he worked, there's indication he worked for a very short time at a small hospital in western North Carolina and then went directly into shilling UFOs for Rockefeller.
Holy shit.
Now, if you go to the next page, that's one you might not want to. Don't say
Rights?
No, you don't want to say
Why can't I say it?
Okay, right. It's your podcast, man.
And stay with me because there's more to this clip that we'll get to in just a moment. But let's break this down first. All right, so basically the gist is that this guest on Danny Jones' podcast is saying that Steven Greer might be a secret agent working for Mossad, right? The Israeli secret service. Kind of implanted in, working for Rockefeller to investigate UFO, just kind of throw in, may not even be a doctor. You know what I mean? This is a lot going on here, right? So let's break this down a little bit. So first we have this gentleman on Danny Jones' podcast. Well, who is this guy making these claims, right? Well, he's right here, and he runs a YouTube channel called Museum of Terror, which you can find right here, right? I'll put a link in the description if you want to check it out and other videos he's done. Now, he's talking about this Baha'i Israel World Center, right? This sort of religious community that's in Israel, right? It's recognized by the Israeli government. And when I looked online, there's, quote, no evidence of this, Baha'i World Center being involved with Mossad whatsoever, right? Okay. That's what Google says. Well, I did a little more digging, and I'm not saying this is definitive, but I found this news clip that was kind of interesting. Take a look.
12 members of the Baha'i faith have been arrested on suspicion of spying for Israel in Iran's northern Mazandaran province. Now, the Iranian news agency is reporting that 2 of the heads of the organization were trained at the World House of Justice located in the Baha'i Center in Haifa. Now, it's alleged they set up a spy cell with other members of that organization. The The Iranian Ministry of Intelligence saying the members of the organization communicated in secret, relying on the basis of messages sent from Haifa and what it calls the Zionist regime.
All right, so I'm not saying that's definitive, just, throwing out details here. You make up your own mind, all right? So, again, I'll put links in the description. You can go check all this out for yourself. I'm not saying that Mossad is involved with this Baha'i World Center in Israel at all. I'm just saying this is interesting. Some members were arrested for allegedly spying for Israel. So I don't know, right? But does that connect Steven Greer to Baha'i, right? I mean, in the sense of him being connected to Mossad. And would everyone at this Baha'i World Center be involved with Mossad, right? Probably not, right? But maybe a few people. I don't know. Does that mean that place is compromised? Was it compromised back then when Steven Greer was there? I mean, there's so many questions to ask here, to be honest with you. But look, let's continue because Danny and this guest continue to talk about Greer. And this next part, I don't know if you're ready for this.
Holy shit.
Now, if you go to the next page, that's one you might not want to. Don't say
Rights?
it out loud. No, you don't want to say
Why
it out
can't
loud.
I say it?
Okay.
Rights,
It's your podcast, man.
Rights of homosexuals, opposite opinions, the National AIDS Hysteria Awareness Test. Okay. We thank you for publishing Associated Press coverage of the October 11th March on Washington for gay and lesbian civil rights. However, as part of our 75 marchers from Asheville, we would like to correct the important inaccuracy. Okay, so what is this about?
So that's an op-ed piece that Steven Greer wrote about himself, and you can see the highlighted portions there.
Okay. Oh, the highlighted portions. We feel that the struggle for our civil rights as gay and lesbian citizens is intricately linked to all struggles against racism, sexism, and anti-Semitism in the country and worldwide. We have fought and died for this country. We are its doctors. Signed by Dr. Steven M. Greer, MD of Asheville.
Now, I have absolutely nothing against homosexual rights, anything like that. I completely agree with the premise.
Yeah.
But if someone's living a double life and doesn't bring that out and own that in this world, and you want to be believed about briefing the CIA and the president and all these people on UFOs, that's a little. His early life doesn't add up to me. Yeah. And look at the date on that versus the marriage.
He's not Jewish, is he?
I don't know. It may be.
Well, yeah, what's the date? Where's the date? Oh, October 16th, 1987.
And when's the marriage?
The marriage was...
I think you put it down.
The marriage was August 30th, 1979. Wow.
So what's his story? It doesn't add up if you go through old newspaper archives. That's all I can say. I don't want to editorialize it or give my opinion about, but he has never presented anything that worked out. The little Atacama alien, the any of that. He has been saying the same shit for decades and being given a platform, almost like a behavioral conditioning program.
Every one of his podcasts does millions of views too.
Is it organic? One thing I've noticed with social media,
it might be, but it might. Yeah,
a lot of bots. A lot of bots. A lot of media companies that will push you and make you look like you're bigger than you are, but it's hollow engagement.
So there's a lot to unpack here. He's basically insinuating, right, that Dr. Steven Greer is gay, which, again, I have zero problem with. None of that matters to me. People's sexual orientation or who they love, I could care less. You do you. But this is interesting because Dr. Steven Greer doesn't claim to be gay, nor does he. Yeah, he's married for a long time, in fact.
As an ER, I'll tell you, when you're dealing with major emergency trauma like I did, you got to develop a sense of humor.
Yeah.
Or you're going to eat your gun. This stuff, when you deal at this level, you got to have a sense of humor.
I mean, yeah.
And you got to have fun.
Yeah.
And you got to have, my assistant here, Raven, and is an angel. She's 27 years with me. My wife and I, 46 years together.
Congratulations.
I have dear friends that I've been with for 50 years. So, you have to develop a support team.
Yeah.
A network of people who, and you have to learn to have fun.
Yeah.
I'm a partying animal. If you ever go out partying with, I'm wild, man.
That's funny. I feel like I've become more...
I'll be out 3 or 4 in the morning having a great time.
I've become more lame since all my, whatever partying I used to do has gone into the craziness of the topic. The topic is so crazy that I'm
you got to bring balance, man. You got to have to balance. Yeah.
Fair enough.
Balance. Mind, body, spirit. You have to balance it
That's
all.
true. Yeah. Always. So.
I don't know. This is kind of interesting because he has talked about people that... would have psi abilities. They're homosexual or bisexual or left-handed.
And you'll see that the P3 operators, these psionic operators that are operational at these bases where I've been now, they tend to look for left-handed people, bi and gay males, and females that have innate intuitive abilities.
That's kind of interesting. And Steven Greer claims to have these abilities. So has he been hiding in plain sight his sexual orientation? Is he just afraid? Then what would that marriage be? Is that a facade? He's been married like over 40 years, right? Which he's talked about before. So I don't know. This seems like a lot, a stretch, to be honest with you, if you ask me, there's a little bit of evidence, but how much is there really? This is all they're showing. So I don't know. These are quite serious allegations, if you ask me, to accuse someone of working for a secret service of another government, basically being a traitor because he's an American. So I don't know. This seems a little far-fetched, in my opinion, and not enough evidence to sort of make those allegations, if you ask me. All right. So, but anyway, you decide for yourself. I'll put links in the description. And have at it, y'all. All right, we'll see you on the next episode. Remember, every day's a gift, y'all. Peace.